name is John Bernhardt. I'm currently with AMD Lasers. I work in the sales and marketing department, and I'm here today to unbox a Picasso Lite laser with Dr. Todd Snyder in Laguna Niguel, California. You know, one of the things we pride ourselves on at AMD Lasers is the out-of-the-box experience, or what we call an UBI, where we try to package our lasers in a way where there's enough accessories and components and education inside the box to help ensure that the doctor is able to get up and running with their laser right away. So we're pretty excited to go through this process with Dr. Snyder today and actually capture it for the masses to see. The fact of the matter is, if you use an electrosurge device to do things like troughing tissue or trimming gingival tissue, this laser will do everything an electrosurge will do with, you know, a fraction of the damage to the tissue, much better and quicker healing, and, you know, more comfort for the patient. Anything where you'd use an electrosurge, you can use a laser. So most dentists have used an electrosurge either in dental school or in their day-to-day practice. So the need to transition or get a lot of training for a simple soft tissue laser really doesn't exist, because they can literally pick up a Picasso Lite, which we're going to be opening up today, and they can get to work. We try to give the doctor as much education and knowledge up front so that the out-of-the-box to the chair side experience is as minimal and short as possible. One of the things the laser does right away is it automatically adds a layer of high tech and kind of sophistication to a practice. Other things is simply how easy the device is to use is a real surprise to a lot of people. And you know, the device we're going to pull out of the box today, you'll see the interface and the buttons and the way that it's worked or designed is designed in a way to really streamline. The number one thing I tell any doctor who buys one of our lasers is to get the thing out of the box and put it to work right away. It's designed to be easy to use. It's designed to be bulletproof. We put lots of education in place inside the box, so whether you want to learn through an iPad app or a DVD set or a series of manuals or booklets, we've got all the different kinds of learning covered, and they can get to work right away.
I'm Dr. Todd Snyder. I practice in Laguna Niguel, California. The name of my practice is Aesthetic Dental Designs. Been around lasers since '94. Had a lot of different types over the years. Very exciting to see the Picasso today. Having a portable diode laser is very important so that you can pull it out at a moment's notice, because you never know when you're going to need one. And with some of the other lasers I have, although they do a wonderful job, they're very large and cumbersome, and I usually pull those out for specific instances where I know I'm going to need a big device to do a lot of work. So for something that I can get in there quickly and easily at a moment's notice for any little task is why I would like to have a diode in my office. Yes, I am surprised that many dentists haven't integrated lasers into their practices. It's just amazing to me to see how non-invasive and how quick you can perform many procedures that we've never really had a good option for previously. And at the same time, you know, the price point, you can't beat it compared to when I got in the game, you know, 18 years ago. You can get a return on investment in a matter of a couple of weeks. As far as, you know, the patient comfort and procedures we can perform less invasively, at the same time the marketing aspect of it to show that you are, you know, cutting-edge technology available to your patients. And with the new company being bought up by Dentsply, you have a very large company behind it, which says a lot to me as far as the longevity of the company, that they're going to be around to help if should anything go wrong, and or giving me service and instruction at the same time. Everything we do in dentistry, there is some tissue management involved. And so if you don't have a device to manage that tissue, usually you're trying to use other devices, packing cord, using more anesthetic, various types of astringents. There's other tools out there, albeit they don't work well. So I can use this tomorrow instantly on almost any patient I'm working on. Lasers have definitely always been an important part of my practice, and they've changed a lot over the years, and it's nice to see them getting smaller and more portable and having some wonderful, you know, options available to us to make it even easier and more simplified for myself and or my hygienist to utilize. So much that even things as simple as fiber management on the device, to be able to have a disposable fiber on it now, it makes life a lot easier, and you're saving more time again. So wonderful little steps each time they come out with a new product to make it that much easier to utilize.
All right, Dr. Snyder, we're here today. We've just received shipment of your Picasso Lite laser. It's literally in the shipping packaging. It came off the UPS truck this morning.
2 hours ago.
Right. So I'm glad it got here in time for our film crew to be here. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to open the box, and I'm going to just kind of walk you through the components that are in the package as if you know, you're a doctor out in the field. This is actually a carrying case that a lot of doctors will keep handy, in case they want to transport their laser to a second practice or possibly take it to a training event. Okay, so now you can see here's all the parts and pieces to the laser device that are kind of packaged inside the styrofoam here. So basically this is the Picasso Lite. And as you can see here, it comes in a plastic protective coating here. This is the device here. You can kind of see how light it is. Now the other components we have in the package here, we've got a box of bendable disposable tips. Not every laser comes with a box of tips, but some order the tips at the time of purchase, and so we just throw them right here inside the packaging. And these are the tips that will go on the end of the laser handpiece when we start using it. So that's our tips. We also have 3 pairs of protective eyewear for the patient, an assistant, and of course yourself. This here is the spool, the fiber spool that we put onto the side of the laser. We'll set that up in a minute. We've of course got our DC and AC power outlet plugs here, and we'll plug those in a moment. This here is the foot pedal. It's a wireless foot pedal, as you can see, if I can get it open here. Usually it requires pressure on both sides, there we go. But it's wireless, battery operated, that's a beautiful feature. We'll set that aside for a moment. And then also, as I mentioned before, our laser comes with a lot of education. So we have here a 6-hour certification and education DVD set where a doctor can get educated, and at the end of 6 hours worth of DVD footage, they can take an exam and get a laser certification to certify them for using the laser in their practice. Not every state requires this, but there are a couple of states around the country that do, Nevada and Arizona. But most states, you can literally watch this, take the exam, get the certification, and be up and running in no time. So, other things in the box here, we have a little baggie full of keys and some other things that we're going to use in a minute here. We also have, this is the delivery system to the laser, which is a multi-tip fiber handpiece. As you can see here, we'll pull it out of the bag. And you can see here that it's got a protective cap, and you'll actually use these disposable tips, and you'll slide the disposable tip as if you're using a pin on a pin lid, or a pin lid on a pin. So it also comes with a quick start guide, which, as you can see here, is a full illustrated, full color kind of a guide kind of showing you where to plug things in, how to initiate the fiber, how the wireless foot pedal works, what tips to pick when you're doing the clinical therapy. It also has here all the presettings and kind of explains the interface for both the Picasso Lite, which is what this device is, and then the Picasso, which is a little bit more powerful and more expensive unit that we carry. So that's our quick start guide. We'll set this over here. And then finally we have in the box is a 60-page kind of user manual. And this basically has all the user instructions that you would need to use either the Picasso Lite or the Picasso kind of included here in the package. So that's what's in the box. All right, Dr. Snyder, what we've done is we pulled the key components out of the box, and what we'll do is we'll kind of quickly assemble them just to kind of demonstrate to you how easy this thing is to set up and tear down. I know you're going to be carrying the laser from operatory to operatory probably. We talked about the laser device before. You've got the front user interface panel, and then we have this back component area where there's some jacks and some different ports for different plugs. So the first thing we're going to plug into the laser is the multi-tip handpiece. So we'll plug this into the back of the device. The way to do that is you basically take the silver component here, and you just essentially screw it in the back of the device like that. Here we have a spool. This spool is basically for your convenience. We'll just lock it in on the side of the device right like that, and this will be where the handpiece and the fiber reside when you're not using it. This RC jack right here is where we're going to put the remote interlock key, which is an important component for all medical and dental lasers, which basically the laser will not run without this remote interlock plugged into the back of the device. So you can see here it's got a connection. We basically will just kind of slide it on until you hear it snap like that. So now we'll also have, of course, a jack in the back for the power cord. So we'll go ahead and plug that in just like that. So power's in, remote interlock's in, multi-tip handpiece is in. So we're good to go on the back side. Now, the other final safety component and requirement of all dental lasers is the need for a key to start or to turn off or turn on the laser. So basically this is a safety feature to ensure when the laser's not in use, that it's been turned to an off position and the key has been pulled from the laser and stored in the drawer. If you do that and the power's not on, you'll notice there's a red emergency stop button here on the top of the laser. When that's out and it looks like a little navel, that means there's no power being sent to the laser. So basically on the front of the device here, there's just a couple things to cover. We've got 3 preset buttons: the bunny mode, the comfort mode or the happy face mode, and then we've got a green button there that's called decontamination mode. So the rabbit mode is a continuous wave. You can see here the preset is at 1.8 watts, which is most of the wattage you'll ever need to complete most soft tissue surgeries in the oral cavity. There's also a comfort mode, which is basically the same presettings as the speed mode or the bunny mode, but it chops the pulse. It pulses the laser energy in half so that you get in 30 milliseconds on, 30 milliseconds off. And then the green button is our decontamination mode. You'll use that for any procedures where you're going to be decontaminating the site, such as a cold sore or a canker sore, an aphthous ulcer, and things like that. So you'll also use that for decontaminating, maybe performing like a pulpectomy or a pulpotomy prior to a root canal. So those are the 3 preset buttons. You've got some other buttons on the front here. There's a volume button, a light button, and then of course a standby button that you'll have to press before you can fire the laser. So that's basically the Picasso in a nutshell, out of the box.
All right.
You ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right.